Welcome traders to this educational video of Nifty Short Term View, episode number 31. Now we have the Nifty Futures current month chart in front of us. On the left hand side I have the hourly chart, and on the right hand side I have the daily chart. In terms of trend, we can see that in both time frames the trend is flat. Now first I'll go with the daily chart. In the daily chart yesterday we saw that we had a very small candle, and the entire day Nifty futures tried to stay in a range, and if we combine these two candles we do have an inside bar, and generally a move above the high of the inside bar is considered to be bullish, which happened probably today morning itself. All right, and we do have a beautiful closing, a beautiful green candle today with 247 points up in the Nifty futures and close to 508 points in the Bank Nifty future. So obviously many people are thinking that is the breakout successful in Nifty futures or not. So according to me, if I cross check Nifty futures in the hourly time frame chart as well as the daily time frame chart, because I always believe that we cannot trade any trading instrument with just one indicator or one tool or in just one time frames. You should have knowledge of what is happening in the shorter term time frame as well as the higher time frame. So in the higher time frames, if you see, the trend is still flat, and whatever up move has happened from the lows of 16,840 till today's high, this is just a mere pullback. All right, this is just a mere pullback. And if I open the 15-minute chart, yes, in 15-minute chart as a intraday trader or as an extreme short-term trader, you will see that the trend is up, but we already have some sort of negative divergence. We do have a higher high over here in price, and we do have a lower high in RSI. So in case if there is some small correction or some small consolidation today in the first half, I will not be surprised. I'm talking of a very small consolidation, maybe 40-50 points or just a little bit more than that. Biasness still stays on the upside, no doubt about that. But in this biasness, I didn't like one thing. One thing which I did notice and which I want to share with you is the volume pattern, my friends. If you see properly, when the markets were coming down, when the Nifty futures was coming down, we had spikes in the volume whenever price did try to come down. And in the hourly chart, apart from this one candle of 9:15 to 10:15 on 20th April, apart from that, generally speaking, if you see, the volume pattern has been coming down. The price has been going up and the volume has been coming down. You can see the volume direction and you can see the price direction. Now, this is not a good sign. This is actually a negative divergence. Not necessarily this means that market is bearish. It doesn't mean that, but it certainly means that there is something fishy about this particular rally which has happened in last 2 days. All right. But in terms of importance, if I want to give a number which has more importance, either the price or the volume, I would always say that price is always more important than volume. All right. So if this entire up move wants to be successful, then according to me in the hourly chart, if we have a close above 17,520 or 530 with a big green candle, all right, just a small candle or something will not be sufficient. If you have a big green candle like this closing above 17,520 or 17,530, and if it closes in the hourly chart, not in the 15-minute chart, and then in the next hour it sustains, then probably we could see Nifty futures moving towards 17,600 or probably even 17,700 in extreme short term. All right. Now let's move to Bank Nifty futures. In Bank Nifty futures also, the trend is flat in the daily chart as well as the hourly time frame charts. All right. Now, one thing which I like about the Bank Nifty future is that it has a very strong support band, and this support band is pretty big enough, and price has respected this support band. It has given a decent bounce back, and the momentum in the Bank Nifty futures, initially if you see in the morning, Bank Nifty futures were looking not weak, but I should say they were not ready to participate. But I think just after 12:30 or something, after a small consolidation over here, you can see a breakout happening. If you go in the 5-minute chart, you will see it even more clearly. If you see properly, there was a range breakout happening in the 5-minute chart, and after this particular move, there was no looking back. Even this candle was very, very impressive. So yes, Bank Nifty futures did participate a little bit late in the rally today, but nevertheless, it has participated. Now, again, coming to the point that has Bank Nifty futures bottomed out or not? According to me, again, my friends, this is just a pullback. What happens within this zone, within this resistance zone will be more important because, you know, if someone wants to go long in any trading instrument, when the trend is generally up in the lower as well as the higher time frame, that is the time when you generally make most of your money. So currently, if you see the trend is flat, all right. And if I'm not wrong, when we start closing above 37,550 or 37,600 levels in, in the hourly charts and as well as in the daily charts, then probably we could see an up move happening in the Bank Nifty futures. Because apart from this gap, you can see there is a clear gap down which happened on 18th of April. Apart from this gap, there is a candlestick cluster over here. So this, in addition to this gap, is giving a lot of resistance to the Bank Nifty futures. So I think we need to wait and watch patiently. What happens in the next 1 or 2 days will be more helpful to us rather than, just jumping onto conclusions. Now, in terms of stock, I think Reliance has been obviously doing really well in the last couple of days. It has been rallying really nicely. I think I told clearly that the breakout over here just a couple of days back when I made a video, I clearly shared that the breakout over here is a very beautiful breakout for a short-term trader, even who is going long in options. And you can see from 2600, the stock has rallied till close to 2788 or 2790 levels. So this is an awesome rally for a short-term trader. Now, in the consumption index, I see one stock, which is Bharti Airtel. It's looking pretty attractive. And the reason for that is, my friends, it is hovering around this zone where there were previous highs and there was a lot of resistance over here. And generally when price surpasses this particular zone and comes back, this same zone which was earlier giving resistance is now providing a support. All right. So the price is trying to bounce back from a support, but I think in the hourly time frame chart, once we have a big green candle closing above 750, that will be the first sign revival for this particular stock. And if it closes above 760, then I think it will be icing on the cake. You will be able to see some sort of decent move on the upside. All right. Pharma pack is also looking well, especially Sun Pharma. I think momentum is low. Momentum is not very strong, but the trend is strong and slowly and steadily it's going up. And this is certainly not a stock for an option trader, because what happens is Sun Pharma, if you can see properly, the recent rally has been very choppy in nature. Like it goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down. So generally after a breakout, if you buy and if then it falls and then if it goes up, you might lose some sort of premium in your call options and time decay would be happening in your trade. So this is just for cash market trades or if someone wants to go for futures, but try and avoid option trades over here. Well, Dr. Reddy is also one stock which is looking good enough. Now, not as strong as Sun Pharma, but it is looking good enough. But as per my analysis, I think it will need to surpass and sustain above this zone. If you can see, prices are not able to sustain above this zone, which is somewhere around 4375, or in round figure, you can say 4400. I think once Dr. Reddy starts sustaining above 4400 levels, you will be able to see decent momentum on the upside. Now, the stock which is responsible for all the downfall in the recent few days was obviously Infosys. And even over here, you can see there is a inside bar which has occurred yesterday. If we take into considerations the candle of 19th and 20th April, and today we have a move and a close above this particular high of 20th April. So many people will be trying to understand that what's the next move going to happen in Infosys. According to me, what is happening is the price is very much far away from the moving averages. So either the prices will try to shoot up and they will find resistance between 1650 and 1670. They will try to shoot up and they will try to retrace basically. And if that is not going to happen, then possibly prices will consolidate over here and the moving averages will keep on coming down. And after that, we'll have a clear picture what's going to happen. So this is also one stock which you can keep in your watch list in case if you're a very, very short-term trader, say for example, an intraday trader. But be very careful because the trend in the daily chart is still down. All right. So time your trade in Infosys very, very patiently and very, very wisely. Don't jump onto a trade immediately. All right. So I hope this educational video has helped you. Trade wisely. Stay safe.